So, guys, my name is Joe. Born and raised here in Southern California, and I like long walks on the beach.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Adam. Kind of raised all over the place a little bit. Boyle Heights, Alhambra, a little bit of Riverside. And I got a family of five, me, my wife, and three kids.
Beautiful kids, by the way.
Thanks, bro.
Well-mannered kids, actually.
Cuando quieren.
I don't know. Every time I see them, they look good, bro. You know,
Hey,
they're sitting down. You know.
It's because our backs are facing them when we're drinking.
Well, you know, yeah, they don't want to see all that, right?
I know, right? No, well, either way, right? Let's talk about how we met each other, how we got clicked up.
Oh man, it's got to be at least close to 10 years now.
Yeah, pretty close to 10 years. I remember it was my sister-in-law's, I don't know, 18th or 19th birthday. We had like a party bus for her.
Yeah,
and you were one of the
friends. I had to get a fake ID, bro.
You were one of the friends of the friends, and you ended up in the bus and said hi to you right there. And we didn't really click up after that, and for another couple, maybe a year or so after that, maybe 2 years after that.
I want to say about
a year after that, and then invited you to, I think we clicked you up. We brought you in to play with the Modelos.
No, I never got to play with the Modelos, actually.
Never subbed in for us?
No, because you guys were already winning championships. I think you guys had a team already set up for quite a while.
Oh yeah, we had set up, but maybe like filling on a game or something. You never played with us?
I don't think so, bro. Because that's what was like with Mondo and everyone, huh? Like
that
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think the first time I got invited was.
It couldn't have been when we already started to.
No, it was on Friday, the co-ed team. That's the first time I got to play with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. So,
oh, shit.
And then, that's when we kind of talked about starting our own team, and then you beat me to the punch.
Well, because you started late.
Well, I mean,
Otherwise, it would have been your team right then there.
Well, no, it would have been our team. Because, we would have put the roster together. So.
Yeah. No, it was, and it was a fucking funny situation on how that happened because the Mighty Drunks came together.
But look how it worked out, shit.
Yeah, it did. It worked out.
Solid team.
Yeah, we have a solid team. I just wish that we'd have the fucking gold to fucking, talk, to say, to prove otherwise.
Came up short how many times already?
Yeah, too many. Too many.
You ain't lying, right?
I know, bro. But nonetheless, man, fucking playing softball is hilarious. It's fun. It's the best.
So, growing up, I played baseball in high school, right here at Southeast High.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I never played travel ball, baseball, anything. I was always into basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, our basketball coach, he told us, look, once the season's over, I don't want you guys just sitting on your ass and not doing anything. So it's either you join another sport or any other activities around,
That's right.
And if you didn't, our coach was an ex-military guy,
Damn.
So our basketball practice wasn't even basketball. We'll do drills without the basketball, man. Like, it was just running around and just, it was like a gym class,
Yeah.
And and then I seen our PE teacher was our baseball coach.
Quick question. Your basketball coach, was he Marine, Army?
Marine.
Oh, Marines.
Yeah, and then he was an older guy already. So he has, I want to say when he was coaching us, he was pushing 60 maybe.
Oh, shit.
Late 50s or early 60s.
So, like, maybe he kind of might have served in Vietnam or Korea. No, Korea would be too old.
Yeah, that's too old.
Vietnam, maybe?
I think that
You're still too young for that?
Yeah, still too young.
Desert Storm? Like the first one?
I'm not sure. I know for a fact, though, he wasn't like active duty. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
he was in a combat veteran.
Yeah, he was in combat. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, trippy thing to add on to that is I wrestled for Alhambra.
Not too far.
Yeah, not too far, right? So I wrestled for Alhambra, and my coach, he was a Marine, and he was a non-combat veteran from as much as I understand.
Okay.
Now, he doesn't talk a lot about it.
I think it's like a non-disclosure, like.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But like the only thing that I understand is that he was running missions in Europe while Vietnam was going on. So just like you, where our practices,
tough, bro.
Our practices were tough, bro.
Tough.
And mind you, I'll tell you, this time and a million times after this, our practices were weaker compared to the guys before us. And every year it had to kind of get weaker because people couldn't handle it. And like over time, at least in the area in which where we were fucking wrestling, you saw it. Kids couldn't hack the fucking practices. Kids would quit between, first hour and the third hour, you know.
I feel you. I feel
So
you.
it's crazy shit. But nonetheless,
The,
shooting back to
the life
baseball.
lessons are better though when once you have a coach like that, you know, because obviously there's like a deeper meaning to it, you know.
Yeah,
It's like obviously like don't give up, you know. Like if you have a goal, make sure you're headstrong
yeah,
and follow through, you know.
absolutely. I
So
think those were like the best things that I got from wrestling was just how to be a man. Learning that no matter what, even if you're fucking tired, there's something in you that you could be so tired you don't think you can move,
but I
and somebody
mean,
tries to tickle you,
no.
and believe me, you're gonna
Yeah,
fucking
you tickle me
move.
with that
Yeah,
extra.
yeah, yeah. Like, and it's a trip. It's a trip. Like we don't think of it that we don't think of that. But my wrestling coach, we'd fucking finish practice. He'd see one of us laying down, fucking beat to fucking hell, and not wanting to move, not wanting to help out with the fucking rolling up of the mats and shit. And he'd jump on us and just fucking, jam his finger in our fucking ribs and our
Just
neck
poking
and
and
try to
shit,
like fucking
yeah.
poke us. And we'd be like, oh,
But that's like a mind trick, you know. So
and
you just like, hey,
and
like,
you'd be like trying to fucking get away from his ass because he's fucking kind of hurting you, but kind of also making you laugh. And you're like, fucking coach, not again,
yeah, yeah.
And then at the end of it, you're like, you get away from him, and he's like, I thought you were tired.
I'm telling you, it's like that mind trick shit.
And he
It's
would
like,
fuck us up like that, like, and fuck us up mentally from it, and not in a bad way, in the best way. And it just showed us like we're better, stronger, faster, smarter than we thought we are.
and keep in mind, and we were like 14, 15, 16 years old at this point, you know.
Yeah.
So like now that I mean I'm almost 30, you know. So
Yeah.
now it's obviously now you're looking back at it. Obviously you're like, damn man, like he was actually looking out for me, you know,
Yeah.
or etc. You know, like I was, oh shit. But I mean, well, back to that, like, so the reason why I got into baseball
Mm-hmm.
was because our PE coach was, well, he was the active baseball coach.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what, like I never played baseball, you know. And keep in mind, in high school, I'm going straight to like 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour baseball, you know.
Yeah.
I've always loved baseball. Me and my nephews and my brothers, we always kept in touch with all sports, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, all right, like, you know what, I went in my basketball freaking practice uniform, you know. I'm like, I'm just try out. He tells me, hey man, like, I mean, I'm not gonna say you're gonna make varsity, but like, if you want to play on the team, you got it. Like, you're good enough, you know, enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I started falling in love, and then I ended up playing the next 2 years, and it was
Did you quit
cool.
basketball and only play baseball?
No. So
Oh.
during the summer, we had tournaments in baseball as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't go to the tournaments of baseball, and I would do the tournaments for basketball.
Yeah.
I was more into basketball at that point.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so
So you also play with Lewis, though, right?
baseball. I'm actually the one that got Lewis into baseball.
Really?
Tell him, Perrito, tell him. Yeah, so
Really?
the thing is, I mean, we were like glue, you know, back in high school. So during after school, he'll pick me up from here, from my house, and he'll take me to school. Keep in mind, it's like 3 blocks, bro, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go there, and then after school, we either go out to eat or shoot the shit for a bit, you know, before he went home, or whatever.
Yeah.
So after that, I told him, hey man, I kind of had practice. And he was like, fuck fool, man, fuck baseball, you know, like let's just go. And I say, hey, how come you don't try out? And he previously, I think he did play like park league or something like that.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, I'll try out. And dude, he had like that raw talent, you know, and just strong, fast, you know.
Yeah.
So like athletic, whatever. And then so I'm all right, cool. And yeah, he made the team. Fucker, like
that's crazy.
Good. Yeah,
that's crazy. You know what's funny? Growing up, I didn't play any baseball at all.
If you would have told me that before, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, I didn't play any baseball whatsoever growing up. And then I didn't start playing until Lewis and Vicky, after Lewis and Vicky got married. And then we built a family team. Okay. And we started playing
co-ed?
Started playing co-ed. And then literally, I know how to throw a ball. And I had swung a bat before, but...
Not at people though, bro.
Yeah, I had swung a bat like doing like BP with some homies at the park, you know, but never like in a game. I had never been in where we had a blue or nothing like that. Yeah. So this was our first exposure in the first season. We just kept getting smoked.
In co-ed, and I'm sure you know that in co-ed, it's either you have the girls or you don't, bro. Because I in co-ed, the girls
had the girls or the guys.
That explains a little bit. Right?
All we had was Lewis, bro.
At that point,
all we had was Lewis, and then at one point we ended up bringing in Caesar. I don't know if you remember Caesar.
So I played baseball with him in high school.
Yeah, you see, that was badass.
That's just always been a stud.
Yeah. Hey, Caesar, we're saying nice things about you, all right, you fucker.
So
And
you
Lewis,
know,
huh?
we gotta try to have him as a guest right here.
One of these days, yeah. No, seriously, bro. So yeah, we ended up getting there, and then I got clicked up. I just started working for this company. Got clicked up with the homie Helmet. He got me clicked up with the Modelos, and
Nice.
then the
So
Modelos.
that roster, that team of Modelos, you guys put it together, or it was a team previously?
No, it was a team previously.
Okay.
They had already been together for like 2 years, 3 years
wow.
before me. And then so I get there and I just started playing. And I told him, like, he's like, so during our interview process, he's like, hey, would you do anything for fun or whatever? I was like, yeah, I play softball with
I
my
forgot
family.
you used to work with him.
Yeah.
I forgot, man.
The homie Helmet, dog.
Yeah.
Good ass guy.
And he was trying to help us out today. But actually, he did help us out today. I'll take that back. He did help us out today.
No, he's a good fucking guy.
Yeah.
And so Helmet, he's like, hey, you do anything for fun? I was like, yeah, fucking, I play softball. I go, I'm not very good, but I fucking try hard, you know? And he goes,
that's all you need, man.
That's all you can ask for, right?
Absolutely.
So I guess a bunch of guys ended up quitting the team.
Okay.
Right around the time I started working with him. And then he invited me, and I played one season by myself, and then I brought Lewis in the next season, and then after that we just kept playing season after season after season after season.
At what point did you end up, because you were the manager, right? You ended up taking over the team?
No. So what ended up happening was COVID hit. COVID hit, and then when COVID hit, we were trying to bring back we were waiting to see when coach was going to bring us back, and be like, and we kept in a group chat together. We would talk shit over COVID.
Shit the shit, whatever.
And nothing like we'd say, hey coach, what's up? We'd fucking bringing us back, and he would just go blank, you know. So we're like, all right, fuck it. So
you guys took matters into your own hands.
You hit me up. No, well, you hit me up.
So this is on the time.
That's when you hit me up, and I was just like, hey, what's up? All right, yeah, fuck it, we're down. And then I look up on MLS what's gonna crack where we're in the season.
When the first season was gonna come back, right?
And then one season had already passed, and they were already starting the second.
Oh shit!
They already started the second.
We were late then.
And then the season was gonna start the following day. So then that's why I registered the team right away, and I registered the team originally Los Modelos / the Mighty Drunks. And then halfway through the season, we were like, hey, fuck it. You know, we're going to let the Modelo moniker go, and then we're just going to go with the Mighty Drunks.
Well, a question I want to ask you, because I'm new to this. Well, fairly new. Because I've been playing in MLS for, honestly, maybe like 5 years or so, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it was my brother's team previous. We used to play at Smith Park on Sunday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but my brother will always be the one taking care of stuff. You know, I'll just show up if I ever showed up, you know, to the game.
Yeah, I know. So, you can do that with us too.
I'm notorious for that, right? It's just Saturday nights, man. You have a good time Saturday nights, you know?
Yeah.
So I wasn't really managing stuff though, but when it comes to like putting the lineup together of sorts, I would help him out with that. But so now that I'm new at managing a team and see how it is, like, how would you put it like this? How would you settle the roster? Mm-hmm. Like, how would you invite a player? Not I'm assuming because they're good, right? But what else goes into play when putting the roster together and actually managing it, and then the day of the games, like what would you do?
All right, so for me, it's I've been really lucky because I played on the team like the Modelos, and then most of some of the guys were already there. So and then meeting you, and then meeting Freddie. So first it was like, who are my homies, okay. And then after my homies, it's like, who do my homies know, or who do I know that might be able to fill in the places that my homies don't play? Okay. And that's kind of like how we put together the team. And then as far as roster, that's how we constructed the roster. Now, based on how competitive we are or aren't, we either add or take out guys on the team. And
it's tough to take off a guy, don't you think?
It is, bro. As a matter of fact.
Because you hit on the head right now, like, because we're boys or whatever, and let's say your boy, he's the one that's not playing well, you know? Yeah.
Well, it's not even about playing well, because I don't play well, right? But it's also like we can only have so many. It can only be so many of the same type of player. Absolutely. So if me and Helmet are on the same team, I can't have someone else like me and Helmet, because that's already two players that hit like the way me and Helmet hit, and I can't have a third player hitting like me and Helmet. And then I want to veer away from playing outfield now. I want to play catcher, where I could have a little bit more talent at the level that we're playing at, play outfield, so that way it just.
Why don't you tell me that on Sundays, bro?
I did.
Well, first of all, we do need you in
Yeah.
outfield at times. So,
Yeah. But I mean,
okay.
that's kind of like the way I put it. But kind of going back to it, perfect example, man. And I hope if he sees this, I hope you know how much my fucking heart hurt when I didn't bring you
Oh,
on
that's
board.
coming.
But the homie Raymond, that was playing with
Oh yeah,
us, not this season but last season.
Luis cousin, right?
Luis's cousin.
Good,
Like
good dude, by the way.
he's
Too.
a fucking great guy,
I could have said,
and he's a fucking
hey, if he says anything bad, it's not on me, all right?
like he's a great fucking guy. He's a hard fucking worker on the field, and he fucking plays good, dog. But we had to get a new team together this season, and guys were coming back that had played
that's
with
what it
us
was.
before.
So, yeah,
So
that's what it was.
as much as I wanted him to come back, we only had so many spaces open, and guys coming back and filling in spots, and that pushes people to other spots. And I mean, at this point, I'm not playing full time either on my own team. So it's like I love the guy and I wanted him to be on the team, but I wasn't able to keep him on the team or bring him on full time because of that specific.
Okay.
You know, so that if that answers your question,
No,
it's hard.
no. Like so, like the
hard.
hardest thing for me is so like I'm at fault too, bro. Like sometimes for our game days, I don't show up, or if I'm stuck working, or if I'm showing up late, I'm kind of late almost all the time, right? But
Yeah.
like now that it's my team, and now that I have to deal with the problems, I when I show up, I'm like, I'm stressing out. Like who's gonna show up? And Lewis put me on game on this because like when the group messages, you always say this early. You're very precise with that. Like, hey guys, game times at 7:45, and this is like the night prior before the game, right?
Yeah.
Like who's gonna show up? Cool, you let us know. And I wouldn't reply at times. You'll text me privately and be like, all right, yeah, bro, I'll be there, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so now that people are doing that to me, aren't replying, it just fucking makes my head spin,
Yeah. And then you're worried about, oh fuck, Joe Schmo's not going. He's my outfielder on the left side. He's sick as fuck. Who am I gonna fucking put there? And like trying to put a team together to be able to like combat with that. That's tough, bro.
So like on your ideal team, how many players would you like to have?
11.
11?
Like, I don't want to have 12.
So 11 players that can show up every day and play every day, right?
And just in case somebody gets hurt.
Okay. So for those that don't know, in softball and men's slow pitch, it's 10 players on the field at all times. So because in baseball it's only 9, but in softball it's 10. So I mean,
and so the reason why I like 11 is just in case somebody gets hurt.
I think that's cutting it short still, bro. Like
I know because there's been incidents where somebody gets hurt and then we only have 10 because one person didn't show up.
Like me right now, and accidentally I have, I think 14 players, bro.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I think this past game is the first time that everyone showed up.
Yeah.
And we're already halfway down the season, so I'm like, all right, cool. When it showed up, we only batted 3 times. Keep in mind. So I know people are like, dude, like the order's too big.
Why,
you know,
that's the reason why I have the team at 11 and not 12 or not 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And because I used to play with a team called the Warriors, and shout out to Cindy, she's fucking dope. But at some point, like she had like, I don't know, dude, like it felt like it was 20 people.
Shit.
You know? And don't get me wrong,
you're getting 2 at bats per game.
Like there was times I only got 1 at bat, bro. But look, and like shout out to that team because that team was dope. Like the ambiente, it was a co-ed team. The ambiente was fucking dope, bro. Like we used to have barbecues and tacos and this and that, and like it was a cool fucking like vibe. And the only reason I stopped playing with them was because I started coaching little Adam in baseball and all that shit. So sorry, Cindy. I enjoyed playing with you, but it was cool. It was cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Now that you got your team on Sundays, did you ever think at one point that you wanted to bring back the old name from your brother? I know that you were talking about your brother's stuff.
It's because it's not PG-13, bro. That's like that's not that. But because for that team, and honestly, I want to say it was half and half of players that I put together, and then half of his.
Okay.
And so, but funny story actually. So that team ended up transitioning to being the Benchwarmers.
Oh.
So Ayon, shout out Adrian. He ended up taking over the team, right?
Mm-hmm. And hey, Adrian, why didn't you ever fucking call me up, asshole?
So he ended up taking over the team, and then Man, I was so well. Obviously, I was on Sunday mornings before I started my own, but
Yeah.
so I was in that team for 3-4 years easily, and back to back seasons nonstop. And we barely started winning championships in the past year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
We went through. We did a three-peat.
Yeah.
Shout out. so and it was a good team. And the thing is, I think that team, I think our team now is more talented than that team, but that team was like the ambiente was just different. Like it was so much fun. Like because like we're over there, like we're winning and we're fucking around and having fun. Over here, I think on Sundays we're too hard on ourselves. And like keep in mind, obviously, winning is fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. But like if you win with the mentality, fuck it, like we need to win, and then you make an error or so, and then it fucks with you.
I get you 100%. I feel like that's one of our problems with the Mighty Drunks.
Yeah. I think the Mighty Drunks is fucking talent all over. Like that team is just stacked. Like
But I feel like the problem there is that sometimes we get too caught up in the emotion of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like we ride the highs pretty high, and we ride the lows pretty low.
I keep in mind, and that team we haven't won yet, right? And the Mighty Drunks, we haven't won the championship yet.
No, we haven't won the championship.
You see? And with all that talent, I think we ended up beating ourselves.
Yeah.
So
especially the first 2 seasons, man.
Well, I think the first season that I wasn't on the team yet.
Yeah.
So that
the first season you weren't. The second season you weren't.
So no, bro. I want to say 2 because you guys were runner up the first season, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But so like the first season, you didn't play with us. The second season you did play with us, because you started off with the purple jerseys, and the purple jerseys we got the second season.
Okay. Because the first ones are dope, actually. I like
the first one.
The designs.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yeah, it's dope. So with that being said, the managing team obviously it's more. I think it's more difficult than what people think it is. Like it's, and keep in mind you're managing different attitudes as well.
Yeah.
Like so.
I think even like so that's the thing. I'm still trying to figure out even like the batting lineups, right? The batting lineups is kind of hard too.
I think that's the hardest thing because like you don't know who's in the ship and who's not, or at what time.
Yeah.
Like it's like me. This past week I did it based on it was cool. Everyone was there, so I was able to fix a lineup as best as I could. I mean for that day, right? But I was like, whoever shows up first, fuck it, man. You guys,
you're the as you come in. I'm signing you up.
Like I kid you not. And I'll be 100% blunt with you. Like when I was bad last year in your team, I wouldn't care, man. Like I don't give a. And then first of all, I know the other fools bad better than me anyway, so it's like I don't care about that.
So like that's
I think,
one of the things for me. At least the first 4 are like the ones that I try to keep consistent.
Okay.
I try to keep the first.
For the most part, they are right.
Yeah, so I always try to keep those first 4 consistent. And then for a couple seasons we had like stupid fast guys. We had Surdo and Surdo and Zuko.
Yeah.
Both those fools were stupid fast. So I could put Surdo, fucking, and then Juju and David, and then Lewis, and then fucking Zuko right after. And those as my 5 starting off, like that felt like really fucking power. Like if anyone fucked up,
well, singles they're gonna come home regardless.
Yeah.
So
somebody's coming home. At that point. But nonetheless, yeah, it's tough, man. Speaking of tough things and managing things, how about fantasy football? Managing fucking fantasy football leagues.
What?
This year I joined yours.
Yeah. Actually, so look, in the beginning, this past season was my second season managing one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, oh man, I was all over the place. I was like, and then the hardest thing was to have the draft party, right? So these past 2 seasons, I always wanted to do it live because I'm like, you know what? I want to build the camaraderie between all of us, Because eventually, I want this league to keep going on. I want it to go. Fuck, if we could 10 years, So, but like, and so far the first 2 seasons, it's a mixture of a couple of people. Like this was your first year with and mine.
Yeah.
So, it's just difficult because it goes back to communication. Honestly, like people don't say when they're open or not, and it ends up being just unorganized.
Yeah, and so I have the same issue. But to add another issue onto it for me on mine, I run 2. I have.
That's tough, man. I have fucking trouble with 1. Imagine 2.
Yeah, so I got the Dirty Dozen and then Just the Tip, and Just the Tip.
Beautiful names. Beautiful names.
Just the Tip was supposed to be a feeder program to kind of put into whoever falls out of the Dirty Dozen.
Oh, that makes
That's the
sense.
plan
Makes
was
sense.
supposed to be. But guys from the Just the Tip didn't want to come over to the
Because that was more
fucking
competitive, or
no, not just because it's more competitive, it's more expensive. So Just
oh,
the
okay,
Tip
okay.
is like 30-40 bucks versus Dirty Dozen, it's 150, 175.
I see.
So
Yeah,
it's like
that's
it's a
it.
bigger
But
buy-in.
okay, but if anything actually motivates you, that I want to take first place. Imagine first place, a cash out.
Yeah, but because you're going up in skill level and you're gonna pay
That's when it
more,
goes more
that's
into
where it's kind of
competitive.
like So it
Yeah.
is more competitive, and we've been together I think like 5-6 years now, and this past year was our first year doing it live, and
How is it life?
it's fun.
Right.
Oh no, actually no, it was our second year doing it live.
Okay.
First year we did it live at the homie Ian's pad. Yo, Ian, you're the fucking man. I want you back this upcoming season. Hopefully we can make that happen. We had it at his apartment complex inside of
Okay.
like a movie theater inside of this.
Shit.
It was dope in West Hollywood, fucking dope. Then last season we had it over at B Dubs. We had
You told me about that actually.
yeah,
You brought it up. You
B
mentioned
Dubs
it.
in Pasadena in the middle of the fucking hurricane. I don't know if you remember
The,
this past
what was
summer.
the name of it?
I don't
No,
even
it wasn't a
know.
hurricane. It was
It was a
oh,
hurricane. It was a fucking hurricane. We were experiencing a hurricane this past summer.
I wasn't.
I think it was like I
When
don't
was it?
know. It was like
I don't know, but I just know it was like I think it was like 13 inches of rain or so, right? Something
no,
like
it
that.
was like yeah, but it was like considered a hurricane for us. It was considered a hurricane for
It
us.
was a storm. There you go. That's what it was.
Ah, they even fucking they called it a hurricane, bro.
Well, that's another topic, right?
No,
So then the hurricane, you guys are drafting players, like
so in the
background noise is just
nah, it ain't fucking that bad. We're in California. Our hurricanes are fucking babies. But nonetheless,
yeah, actually, you're right.
so nonetheless, we're over here. We show up, and I had one fucking homie show up in fucking Vans, like Vans with no socks, fucking short ass shorts,
like hipster, huh? Just
short ass shorts, a fucking muscle shirt and shit, and fucking glasses. Didn't take his glasses off the whole fucking night or the whole fucking day.
Don't tell me he won the draft though.
No, hell no. And he never wins, dog. That guy never wins. I won't say your name, bro. But hopefully you see this and you know exactly who I'm talking about. But nonetheless,
there you go. You have it.
yeah. Now we talk so much shit in the Dirty Dozen.
Oh man, so all right. So I don't transition right, but that's what it is about sports when it's competitive, bro. And how much do we argue about our teams? Tell me.
I mean, in our
Actually, you know what? You're actually pretty harsh, bro. Like like you can talk shit.
Football-wise.
Yeah.
Football-wise, I fucking love talking shit. But it's just because, like, I'm always hearing shit from all my homies that are Raider fans, and then you just end up getting the worst of it sometimes. Not the worst of it.
I'm up right now, actually. What was the score? 63-14?
But yeah, you guys don't know how to successfully lose some games so you can get a better pick. It's,
But that's just the Raider way.
The Raider way is just win, baby, at any cost.
Well, look, so I was watching the game here, actually, while I was working.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing them just drive down the field and scoring, and I'm just like, wow, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm not used to this.
Yeah, well, the Chargers team at that point just gave up, bro.
Well, and then keep in mind, Justin Herbert wasn't playing either.
Yeah, we have Easton Stick out there, and then Keenan Allen ain't playing. We had so many injuries, but besides
for you guys, it makes sense to set them out because those are franchise players.
Yeah,
us, I mean, Devontae obviously, but he needs to get some reps in, regardless. So like, we had a rookie quarterback,
So,
do you know what school you came out of?
Who?
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell? No, I don't remember.
So he came out of Purdue,
okay,
like freaking fourth rounder, fifth rounder,
Yeah.
Like if anything, he could have probably went undrafted,
The
talent's there, but it's just. How can I say, like, I don't see that tenacity in where, he wants to fucking.
Don't talk shit about Purdue, bro. You know
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees, exactly, bro. Don't talk shit about Drew Brees.
But like I said, Drew Brees is he's a bulldog. Like he wants the ball in his hands at all time. Like that's why he was one of the greats.
He definitely is. He definitely is one of the greatest of all time. As far as fucking accuracy goes, probably the best. I think he has like the highest career fucking accuracy percentage.
Well, he's number one in yards, I think, right?
No, I think he's number one in accuracy.
No. I want to say he's number one in yards, bro.
Pretty sure Tom Brady passed him this year.
No, Tom Brady's not even top five.
Really?
Because number one was Peyton Manning, and then that Drew Brees passed Peyton Manning.
I remember that. I
So
remember that game.
you know,
But I think Tom Brady passed him up this past season, or not this past season because he didn't play,
yeah,
but the previous season. I think he passed him up. I think it was like
I'm
a big.
mistaken
I think
then.
it was like a big thing, and I could be mistaken.
What
But
do you remember? Do you remember Drew Brees' last game? What?
I don't remember his last.
So actually, I think it was the last regular season game.
Game. Okay.
That matchup, Tom Brady versus Drew Brees.
Mm.
Oh no, it was a playoff game, bro.
Was it?
Tom Brady eliminated Drew Brees in the playoffs.
Ah.
That's the year I think the Bucks won the Super Bowl.
That was it. That was Drew Brees' last year. Yeah. No, but I want to say Tom Brady ended up taking the yards thing. I want to.
We're gonna have to search it up real fast. All right, I got you.
Go for it.
So
Another beer.
I mean, we're still filming, right? Passing yards. Sorry, guys. We need to get our facts straight. Yeah, you called it, man.
Yeah. Second is Drew.
Second is Drew. Third is Peyton Manning.
There it is.
Damn, bro. Tom Brady just devoured everyone. But besides the rings,
well, it's just he had the longevity of his career.
Guess where he's at? Number wise.
Don't even know. Not even about.
He's at 89,214 passing yards.
That's crazy.
And I'm pretty sure he could have still played this past year.
Yeah.
He could have definitely still played.
Yeah.
And then you had Drew Brees at 80,000.
Yeah, and now he's got some sort of relationship with the Raiders, bro. I don't know what's up with that.
Initially the plan was for him to be like a minority owner. So it was something like 1 or 2%, right?
Yeah.
And then, so Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, he's touche to him because Al Davis, our previous owner, his late father, he was always a general manager and the owner of the team, right?
Yeah.
So and at one point he was even the head coach, but like it wasn't working as him as head coach. But as a GM, this dude just was after like just whoever was like popular or fast at that time, you know. Mm-hmm. He was just known. He was notorious for just drafting fast players, you know.
Well, from what I understood, Al Davis was more so about the guy that fucking said "fuck you" to the rest of the league.
He sued the NFL.
So he was the kind of guy that would say, "Oh, you know, Bo Jackson has a fucking drug problem." Mind you, Bo Jackson, I'm sorry if you didn't have one.
Hopefully you get to watch this video.
But nonetheless, like, oh, Joe Schmo has a fucking drug problem.
He was not for getting second chances.
Let me come over and I'm going to give you a fucking second chance. No one else will fucking touch you. Hey, I'm going to give you a chance and you better come over and say fuck you to the rest of the league. He was that kind of guy. Yep. And as far as like respect goes for that, like, hats off to the guy. You know, hats off to the guy. Now, the fans, on the other hand, fuck those Raider fans. Seriously, the way I look at it,
I don't know many Charger fans, you know, but
yeah, because there's not very many of us.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so, but I mean, like I've always said this. I've always been honest about my team. I never experienced a championship where as far as or as long as I've been a Raider fan. We've had
as long as you've been alive too.
Yeah, yeah, right. And I'm including 500 seasons as winning seasons for me in my eye. All right, I have 4 of them in my lifetime as a fan, so that's tough. You know?
It's tough.
It's very tough to be a Raider fan. It is, but I mean, it goes back to honestly loyalty, and that's something I think we're notorious for as well. Like,
I mean,
we're never gonna switch up, man.
When I talk shit about Raider fans, I talk shit about the ones that don't watch football,
the ones that don't know facts.
Fuck your Raiders, yeah. You know, like those fools. Like those are the kind of guys I fucking talk shit about. Mainly because they don't watch football. They're talking all this masa, and then they're like, you know, they hear that the Raiders beat the Chargers big time, and all of a sudden they want to get in my ear. Hey,
their favorite player, their favorite player is Jerry Rice. They still think that he's playing for the Raiders. Like, come on.
They're like, hey, I like Troy Aikman. He never even fucking played for them, you know. But or Rich Gannon, bro, fucking Rich Gannon. He's been retired.
I got to see him play his MVP year.
He was great. He was great.
And keep in mind, he was 35 years old.
Yeah,
he was already finishing his career. You know.
Yeah, he was a good player. Yeah. He was a good player. I remember the fucking is it a fumble or not a fumble game, and he was
against Tom Brady.
Yeah, he was in that game.
Yeah, 2001.
He was in that game. Yeah.
Supposedly, so they're saying that because Tom Brady he wants to be part owner. He said, he's trying to how can I say? trying to make up for that fumble.
You-
Because he said it like it was a fumble, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they called it a forward pass,
he's not the
And now-
he's not the ref.
and now the tuck rule, you know.
Yeah, yeah, man, it's
So-
a trip. It's a trip. Fucking fuck Tom Brady. No, he's a good
No,
dude.
yeah,
He's
That's to give it up to him, man.
Get,
I don't think there's no one's gonna be better than him.
Nah, fuck. The one that scares me about that is fucking Pat Mahomes.
What is he? He's 26 years old. Fucking what? 2-time Super Bowl champ.
3-time.
3-time Super Bowl champ. 2-time MVP. $500 million contract. And before he's fucking 30.
And
Bro, that's
he's
just-
been to the Super Bowl, I think, at this point.
He's like LeBron, bro. Like
Yeah, he's bad, bro. He's bad, and watching him fucking play is fucking crazy. But a crazy
I
thing,
fucking hate watching him play. He's
Hey.
always beats.
bro, watching him play is crazy. But a stat came out earlier today, and I was scrolling through Instagram. A stat came out, and it said the number of interceptions that have been called back for him
That's a
versus-
I want to hear this.
versus Josh Allen. Josh
But,
Allen,
but Josh Allen, he's a gunslinger. Like
yeah, but
he's not afraid to make that throw. You know?
yeah, but
Like,
here's the thing: the difference, and now mind you, I'm gonna butcher the number, but I'm gonna try to get close. So, Josh Allen had 3
for
that were
interceptions
called-
that get called back.
interceptions that would get like there was a penalty.
Oh, like PI, whatever,
Yeah,
right?
whatever. So, Josh Allen had 3 get overturned because of a penalty.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
3.
I can only imagine.
Make a random guess how many fucking Pat Mahomes has had.
Pat Mahomes threw a lot of picks this year, actually,
But how
for being him.
But how, over his career, how many do you think?
So his career wise.
Over this is not
I
just
thought
one
this was the
season. Over his career,
Ooh.
how many think has he been saved by a penalty?
He's been in the league, what, like 7 years?
Something like that. But he's only played like 6, I think.
Yeah, his rookie, I think I started like half the season, I believe.
I think he only played 1 game his rookie
year?
year. Yeah, 1 or 2.
I'm gonna just got a limb and say 25.
More than double that.
What the?
56, I think it was. 54, 56.
Those had to come within the last 3 years though, because you see all the memes going around, floating around about him, like, and then the remakes of him like walking over to the hey, you know, like,
Yeah.
but I'm just like,
bro. No, and so that's the trip. It's like that's where like people are talking shit, saying, "Oh, well, the fucking NFL's fixed," and you know the people who write the script, they don't like this, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you believe in the script?
Nah, I don't believe in the script. But
What makes you so sure? Like what is it?
So here's my thing. I don't believe in the script, but what I do believe is that I do believe some of these refs have money on the game.
Man, but that's no, I mean that's like,
But it's
Since the
happened.
beginning, bro.
It's been happening. It's happened for a long time, you know. And
I think it's been happening since.
and they make
since
small
since
calls.
gambling was legal.
Yeah, they make small calls that fucking eventually affect the game. You know,
Absolutely.
you know. I think that's you know that's why Vegas always wins.
Except the Allegiant Stadium.
That Allegiant Stadium.
All right, let me ask you this. All right, so
What's up?
since we're on the topic of football,
Yeah.
So what pick do you guys have in this year's NFL draft?
This year we have the 5th overall pick,
Okay, so
and you guys got
we're 13th.
okay. Cool.
So you guys you as a fan obviously,
Mhm.
like what position do you guys think that you guys need to draft, like to deal with first, position wise?
Ah, shit, man. Well, the position that we need the most is center because our center is going to retire due to a heart issue.
Oh shit, really?
Corey Lindsley, all pro center.
What?
He's got a heart issue. He didn't play.
Did you guys draft him? No, right?
No, he
Yeah,
played for the Green Bay
Yeah.
Packers.
Okay. Yes. I was like, I remember that name. I was like, yeah.
Great guy, and you know, wish him all the while, all the better, his health and shit. But yeah, so
So center.
Corey Lindsey's getting hurt.
Obviously, that's very important.
Gonna
Obviously.
retire. He's gonna retire. He said he's like 99% sure he's retiring. So they already moved around.
No,
the
so you're saying there's a chance?
yeah, 1%. Huh? So you said
Bro,
there's a chance.
how many times did Tom Brady retire, bro?
Fuck, dude. But yeah, bro. So center is the one that we need, but obviously we're not drafting one in the top 5. So if we're not trading back and if we're staying put,
The first O line that's projected to get drafted, I believe, is the
Joe
tackle.
Alt?
The
Joe
tackle
Alt out
of
of,
Notre Dame, right?
Notre Dame, yeah.
The tackle.
We have a left tackle in Rashawn Slater, badass. Second team All Pro his rookie year. I don't think that that's where we would go because if we were to pick Joe Alt, we'd have to move him to the right side. We just
Oh, and
signed.
then I mean, switching sides is a big difference. So.
It is, man, and we just re-signed Trey Pipkins last season, so he's got a brand new contract. So I don't think we make that move. Um, so I'm kind of stuck between a wide receiver and a tight end.
Well, Keenan Allen, he's kind of slowing down, right? Well,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, his numbers are still there,
yeah. So
but
Keenan
I
Allen's
mean,
game, I
his
feel like, will translate further throughout his career, even with the age. He's like a Larry Fitzgerald type of player.
that's
Larry
a very good
Fitzgerald,
comparison. I would agree.
yeah, he's not going
Great
to be a
hands,
speed
great
guy.
hands.
He's going to be the guy that's going to body you up. He's going to
He's
fucking
physical too.
he's
At,
going to
at
be
the first 5 yards, he's very physical.
he's
Actually.
going to be physical with you. He's going to hit you with a dirty ass route, and he's got good hands. And then that's all Keenan Allen's going to be for you. He's not going to be the speedster that's going to beat you over the top. And he's not really a jump ball guy either.
This past season, who was your speedster?
We didn't really have one.
Because you guys lost DeAndre Carter. I mean, he wasn't a full blown starter, right?
Oh no, but he
was a slot. He was pretty good.
Yeah, and he did service for us.
And guess who we went with?
Did you guys? Yeah,
he didn't even play with us as much.
Hey, bro, the
system wasn't there for him.
But here's the thing, though. Like Raiders, as of late, have been fucking Chargers, fucking Vegas. The Vegas Chargers, you know,
like you guys that's what they're saying about the Patriots. That's what they're saying about the Patriots.
But like you guys pick up all of our old players.
Who did we pick up in the past?
Isaac Rochelle. No, and I'm not even saying like a long time ago, like this past season. Over recently, you guys have
got a lineman, right? The D line.
A D lineman, Isaac Rochelle, DeAndre Carter, fucking Denzel Perriman.
That's the only one I like. Perriman was dude, he's like my height, fucking 120 tackles per fucking season. Like, bro, he's
sick ass tackler.
He ended up going to the Texans and look.
Yeah, he did good over there too. Who else? What's the other guy's name? Jerry Tillery. That's another one.
Jerry Tillery, yeah.
And mind you, all these schools were just in your team like last year.
This past season, yeah. No, you're right.
And then you guys got a safety from us. Can't remember his name. He was like a second or third stringer from us. So that's like
what do you care about a third stringer? They don't matter.
Hey, no, they fucking matter. Depth piece matter. No, but like 5 or 6 guys just in this last season or two, and then now that this offseason you guys pick up Tommy T, the fucking coupon god, fucking Tom Telesco as your guys' GM, and then you guys hired a bunch of the people that worked underneath him. So Tommy Donatello, I think.
So the official coaching staff was announced 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking through it, right, just skimming through the page and whatnot, and some of the names, obviously. So they hired Antonio Pierce's son. He just graduated from Cincinnati, I believe. Cincinnati, and he was an NFL player, football player, but he didn't make the cut or whatever. So he's a offensive assistant. So he pretty much his dad's coffee getter, gopher or whatever.
Yeah.
And then our running backs coach. I don't know if you heard about the running backs coach.
Nah.
So UCLA, they hired I can't remember his name, bro. D'Angelo Williams? No. No,
UCLA just hired Eric Bieniemy.
Okay, wait,
their offensive coordinator.
No.
/ assistant head coach.
No, head coach. It's gonna be an associate head coach.
Yeah.
So the other one is D'Angelo Williams, the running back.
Oh shit! No way.
Is it D'Angelo Williams or? Fuck, man. I don't know, but it's D'Angelo something. He was supposed to be our running backs coach. And then so because he was coming over from UCLA, and then he ended up obviously UCLA offered him a head coaching job. He was like, hey, I'm gonna stay. So whatever, he went over there, and then our running backs coach is Cornell Williams. Do you remember that name? Cadillac Williams.
Oh no way!
So I mean he was good, but then he's just injury plagued and whatnot, right? But I thought that was funny, when I hear those names, I'm like, gosh, dude, like I'm getting old, bro. Like,
well, just not just that.
Like this dude, I seen him play his rookie year with the Bucks.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? Like
recently, I started noticing and this is where fucking hit me is like I'm 34 years old. Like if I played in the NFL, and mind you, I would never have been able to play in the NFL.
I don't know. I think you could have made the cut, bro.
that's just
And you're like a fullback, bumping bodies.
nah, bro. These guys at 34 years old, that's
They're
like
done,
you're
huh?
old, bro. Like you're retiring. Like
You
and
know,
like I'm
well,
starting
it
to
depends on
get
the position, right? But
yeah, but like
more so, you're right.
Khalil Mack is 32 years old, and they're like, yeah, he's done, and he just had a 17 sack season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, 6 against the Raiders, bro. So,
hey, 6 versus the Raiders, that's a lot
that is a
against
lot.
any team.
Yeah, but our O line was in the Raiders.
So what, bro? I don't see six sacks by any team, by any player against any team this season, other than Khalil Mack.
I feel like he's a Mack truck, bro.
Yeah,
Literally, you know?
he's bad. Now. He's bad.
Actually, Renan, that you brought that up. So I feel like it's well deserved by these professional athletes and stuff to be able to retire at that point.
Yeah.
So like for example, like in the NBA, if you're a 10-year vet, you get medical insurance and I'll talk our insurance, right? And then keep in mind there's $1 billion fucking corporation, huh?
Yeah.
So obviously insurance is gonna be well. So if you do the 10 years, it's guaranteed for life, you and your family.
Yeah.
So when I hear like Megatron, Calvin Johnson, he retired at 31 years old, still in his prime, bro. You know, but I think he was smart enough to understand, like, you know what, me voy a jubilar. You know, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna get my fucking benefits, whatever, and not risk getting more hurt than I already am. Because keep in mind, these guys, these professionals are playing since they're 5 years old, 6 years old. Right? Imagine how much punishment they take and stuff, and how much time they took. You know, they probably didn't even have a real childhood. You know, like so they would just work and work and work.
Well, I think there's certain athletes like that, and then there's certain athletes that don't get into it until like they're in high school. But even then, like starting from high school till getting into the NFL, that's a lot of damage in your body.
Absolutely, and it's real damage at that point. So maybe like Pop Warner, okay, it's not so much.
Yeah.
But once you get to the high school level, like, and keep in mind, people want to make a name for themselves at that level. So the hits are coming regardless, whether you like it or not. They're gonna come. Yeah, in the NFL, the hits are only gonna come game time. You know, obviously, yeah, it's still very physical, but like in practice,
it's only game time. But previously, it used to be at practice too. Guys were getting concussions at practice too.
Yeah, but when you're making money, I'm gonna tell them, hey man, I don't want to risk breaking my contract. You know?
I think there's only it's very rare. Like, so I pay attention to like a little podcast between the players and shit like that, and like Sean Merriman speaks a lot about.
Fucking hate that
guy. I love him. Sign him up. Sign him up. Nah, so Sean Merriman, he talks about some stories from when his rookie year and him playing against LT.
I like Danny Thomas.
Yeah,
one of the best.
Yeah, man, seriously.
Fucking what was he, like 5'10", 5'9", huh? Short dude.
I think he's like 5'11".
Oh, okay.
I think like 5'11".
That's typical for running back, right?
So. Yeah, 5'11", 5'10". You're probably right, like 5'10", 5'11", but like 220, 200.
Well, it was a big dude.
About 215, 220.
But he still had that speed, so that breakaway speed.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He was good.
Yeah, so this guy, Merriman's talking about his rookie year against LT and him laying a fucking hat on LT. And
I don't think you could do that. I don't think you could do that.
Well, because, you if it was not LT, like if it was Michael Turner or Darren Sproles, it would have been fine.
Okay, but
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, keep in mind, so Merriman was drafted what year? Like 2006, 7, around there? Sean Merriman?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
LT at this point, he was already a bona fide superstar, you know?
I think by that point, he was probably like 1 or 2 years into the league.
No way.
2 or 3.
No, bro.
Like max 2 or 3.
Okay.
Max 2 or 3. So
the Chargers know he's the future at this point, though.
Yeah, at this point, they already know, like, and they're kind of retro.
If a rookie's gonna try to freaking lay me out like that, like, hey, bro, relax. I'm in your team.
Oh yeah,
you're causing us games because I'm making the team.
Exactly. So that's exactly what he's talking about. He's like, yeah, back then it was that kind of thing happened all the time, but you didn't hit your good players. Like practices were rough back then because, like, I guess you would say, coaches used to pay the guys like $50 to like $100 for every strip, sack, interception that they'd have in practice.
So you're telling me that this dude, Sean Merriman, was willing to hurt LT for $100?
He didn't.
Come on, man. This like, making millions.
But the thing, the thing that he didn't think of it at that moment was
He's just like, oh,
he's like,
I
I
want to
want to
play.
show I'm fucking
Okay.
badass. And so it wasn't about the fucking
The money.
the money. It was more so about like, I want to show I'm a badass. Just like, unfortunately, so back when I played football in high school,
What position did you play?
so I played wing T. So it's kind of like a tight end, wide receiver, running back kind of position. West Coast in the West Coast offense. So I played wing T, which is called a four back. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
You football
yeah.
heads, you guys can talk about it. So I played wing T, and then on defense I played outside linebacker. On weak side.
I think defense is so much fun, bro. Like
that. So I was that's where I got most of my playing time was on defense. On offense, I didn't get much playing time. I played a lot of special teams, and so I was a returner.
I think special teams, you gotta be a crazy motherfucker. Like,
yeah, and
it's fun.
I used to get hit a lot. I used to get hit a lot because we were good at special teams. Had a good time, but in playing defense, and so like in running defense and playing defense, we had this kid. He was fucking badass, and he was one of the people we shouldn't have been hitting, you know. And one day,
I already know what's coming.
One day, homeboy, he jumps up for a fucking pass, and he's in my zone, and I fucking lay him. I get out from underneath him.
Oh, you shove his legs.
He's fucking he comes up, and he's maybe about 6'1".
Oh, he's a big dude. Then.
Yeah, he's maybe about 6'1" at the time, and my little old me, I was like probably like 5'4" at the time. Hadn't even hit my final growth spurt. And I go out from under him and boom, right to his fucking back. And everybody's like, oh, shit. And yeah, I laid his ass out. And I was like, yeah, you know. And everybody's like, what the fuck, man? You know, everyone was all mad. And I was just like, fuck it. Like,
it is what it is.
You play the game too, dog. Like how many times I got hit. But I don't know. I shouldn't have done that.
I mean, 2020. No, but I mean, it's because if you really pay attention to it, like, you're there obviously to compete, you know. Yeah. Like obviously, like this dude's the face of the team or whatever, right? At that point, but like, and I don't know, man. It's just like, as men, I think we're just competitors, you know. Like, and especially at that time, got our fucking testosterone building up in us. 16 years old or whatever, you know. So it's just like,
at the time I'm 14. I'm 14 years old, just fucking.
And then I'm pretty sure you're trying to make a name for yourself to get more PT, you know. So it's like, you know, like
and that's exactly what it was. It's like, I want to play, and then I was playing in a position I shouldn't have been playing. Like my coaches told me, hey, you probably get more playing time if you fucking play tailback, and you probably get more playing time if you fucking played DB. But there I was, like a fucking little idiot. I was like, no.
Oh, so you chose your position?
Yeah, I chose my position. So I was like, yeah, no, I want to play outside linebacker because I want to hit.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking just, you know, I want to hit. And so that's why I played outside linebacker. I played weak side, outside linebacker. And then on offense, I wanted to catch because I was like, I have good hands. Like I want to catch. I don't just want to play tailback.
I get you.
But where should I have been? I should have been tailback. I should have played tailback. I should have.
It's going touchdowns.
Like I should have been running. I should have. Like I'm not saying I would have been the best or like but I probably would have got more playing time, and my coaches probably would have respected me more being in that position because I probably fit that position better. But me, theoretical ass fucking little kid, I was like, nah, fuck that.
All right, right on that topic. Like, how were you as a little kid? Like growing up in these 5 cities, major cities.
So I think in different places I was a different kid in different places.
What so like your surroundings? Like,
your surroundings definitely influence you. In East LA, I was a really nice kid. In Boyle Heights, I was a nice kid. I got in fights, but only because
you're defending yourself.
Like I was defending myself, that kind of thing. I've always tried to be like the righteous kid and
do the right thing.
I tried to do the right thing, and I got into a lot of fucking little bullshit issues because of that. You know, like people don't want.
So obviously now as an adult, you look back at that like, damn, I probably should just minding my own business.
Yeah, right? Like, because I wanted to jump in, say, oh, don't pick on him, pick on someone on your own side. So I was fucking small, but I was like, still pick on someone on your own side. I watched too much fucking cartoons, you know. That's what it was. And then like in Riverside, I wouldn't say I was like a bully, but I would bully the bullies. Like that's where I was kind of like I was hot headed,
Yeah.
like where I'd just kind of go after kids a little bit. And then when I moved back to Boy Heights, again, nice guy, minding my own business, kind of nerdy. And then moved to Alhambra, a little nerdy, into sports, kind of down for everything.
Okay.
And then in situations where people try to pick on you, you stand up for yourself. And
For
I didn't
sure.
jump into anything extra like that at that point in time. It was more so just whatever came my way.
When you were in Boyle Heights, how old were you?
So to six, I no up to seven in Boyle Heights. I moved to Riverside for 2 years. I moved back for another year. I moved, and then so by this time I'm like 12. Uh, yeah,
Shit,
no. So Riverside
it's an
three
important
years.
age group,
So yeah,
age gap right there. Like,
so Riverside like 2 3 years. I moved back to East LA for another year and a half, and then we moved to Alhambra when I was like in sixth grade, and then sixth through high school, I lived in Alhambra, and then I moved back to Boyle Heights.
because
And so right when I was like a young adult is when
yeah,
I went
okay,
right back into East
okay.
LA.
You see, so
Heights.
you spot on right now. So I know a couple of people that grew up in Boyle Heights and East LA. So apparently, this is big thing. East LA and Boyle Heights is two different
Oh yeah,
cities. You
yeah.
cannot if you say, "Oh, it is East LA," you're like, "Nah, man, like it's Boyle Heights is
Territory, yeah.
itself." You
But
know?
you know where that sprouts from?
No, no, no,
So
where
where it sprouts from is rivalries between Roosevelt
and
and
Garfield.
Garfield. Yeah,
So
it sprouts from there.
Roosevelt's in Boyle Heights, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
Garfield's
Garfield
East
is East
LA.
LA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, well, obviously,
But from the
you know
outside,
Melissa, right?
so from
So
the outside looking in, and
I,
people might say I'm wrong or whatever, but from the outside looking in, those who aren't from either or,
it's the
when
same city.
they
I thought it was the same city, bro.
yeah, so they'll be
Like
like, and mind you, there's Boyle Heights and Lincoln Heights. Then people who are from Ramona Gardens, they want to be known as they're from Hazard Projects.
okay,
Like
okay,
there's just like there's a bunch of little areas in that little area. That's all a little town. It's all little their own little subsidies in there. And
okay,
like I said, it all to me the way I see it is it sprouts from um, Roosevelt and Garfield and Roosevelt. They're just trying to keep
okay.
them like that's kind of where I would. I feel like that's the because it's a real rivalry.
No,
It's
no.
like one of those
So,
like
I got to
it's like a
experience a game, bro. I got
it's
to
like a
experience.
Pittsburgh Ravens fucking
Yeah,
rivalry. You
so,
know what I mean?
I got to experience. I went to it was high school football, right? It was
Yeah,
Garfield versus Roosevelt, and they played Eli.
yeah. The East LA Classic.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
So I went,
So,
and like, bro, like, so obviously, East LA is a big city. And
yeah.
so at that point in time, I thought Boyle Heights and East LA was East LA, like, you know. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's a lot of people on the residents of there, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, it makes sense for them to rent out a pretty much a college freaking football stadium, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So and I see it, bro, it fills up like it's shitload of people, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, and obviously they're really into it, you know, because obviously most of them their kids are playing or families playing, you know.
And it's
So
the guys that still want to go, and then
alumni, yeah,
guys
yeah,
that still rep.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh no, that's my
So
hood, that's
but
my
I
spot.
got to experience that. I'm like, wow, like, you know. But back to this, like, so at that point in time, and then from the outside looking, how you said it, I've always seen like, oh man, Boyle Heights was really rough. You know, like it's a tough place to grow up in,
Yeah.
or también East LA. You know, it was tough to growing up in.
Mm-hmm.
So um you growing up there, like what did you see like around your home, or what was it
Um,
that you're like, oh shit, like it's not that much of a good of a place to actually live here, or it is a good place to live in.
so my pops and my mom, and thankful to them, they did our best. They did their best to keep us away from as much as they could.
Okay.
So when we were young, at that first stint living in East LA, Boyle Heights, whatever, and I'll keep always saying it that way.
Okay.
But living in that area, my parents would come out and make sure there was no needles in the fucking in the floor and in our
It was
playground area because we had our own yard and shit, and making sure there was no needles and then that we could go out and play. I remember
And this is like what, late '90s, early 2000s.
early '90s, early
Okay.
'90s. So I was born in '89. So I stopped living in Boyle Heights in '97. So about somewhere between '94 and '97, I remember there was. Um I remember gangbangers being on top of our roof, being on top of our roof, just fucking being high, like
They say it's
fucking
like
just being dumb. And mind you, like we had a small little fucking house. It was like a small little house, and then the front house was like a fucking big ass house. So like we had this little fucking 1 bedroom little fucking garage turned into a house kind of thing, and in the backyard.
it's the
And
best times though, right?
yeah, no, it was cool. We were fucking united. Me, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad. Nonetheless, oh no, it's 2 bedroom or one
One and a
bedroom.
half.
One bedroom. Yeah. Nonetheless, we were right there, and yeah, I remember fucking hearing the guys up on top of us, fucking moving around and shit like that. And then the helicopters coming, shining light on
At
them,
that
and
point
like,
in
what
time,
the fuck?
did you know what they were doing up there, or you
Nah,
just
I
like,
just
oh,
did.
this is like fucking around?
Yeah, just like whatever. I didn't even know what they would potentially be doing. I was a fucking kid,
Yeah.
6, 7 years old, sheltered from that fucking world. Um, and then when I was in, when I came back after living in Riverside for 2, 3 years, um, I was in like early stages of middle school, or like fifth grade, fourth and fifth grade is when I spent back in Boyle Heights. The craziest thing I saw ever there was a UC trying to stop a drug dealer, or like our local
Yeah.
drug dealer, and
Did you know the guy?
I would see him every day. My parents knew him because
He was
my mom
like
lived
a
there for
cool dude,
years. Yeah,
whatever.
like whatever, like a whatever guy,
I
like
get you.
people you pass by, you know who he is because you know who he is.
His rep follows him.
Everybody's and mind you, like everybody who lived on that block for the most part, they all knew each other. My great grandfather owned that fucking that property for like 70 years. I don't know. I would say to say 70 years might be an overstatement, but maybe 70 years, bro. So like that spot was people knew each other, Nonetheless, this guy, tall, lanky, white dude, gets stopped like on the corner. Like the UC fucking tries to run him, like ram his car before
Oh shit!
he can get in. And the UC gets out of his fucking car. I'll never forget. He was wearing a fucking Broncos jersey. Um, he was a black dude wearing a Broncos jersey in Boyle Heights. Like
That's weird.
fucking weird, dog. Weird, but whatever. UC fucking slams his fucking brakes on him. Homeboy fucking jumps out of his car and books it towards us. I'm like standing right there with my brother, my sister, my dad, and one of my cousins, getting ice cream from the local ice cream truck. We used to call that food Michael, the Michael ice cream truck. And we'd be right there, and my dad grabs my brother, my sister, my cousin, and throws them underneath the truck, and then jumps on top of them. And I'm standing there like
Just
fucking
like
dead, like
fucking deer in it with
deer in the
headlights.
fucking headlights. And my dad realizes I'm there, and like he's like,
Oh
"Get
shit!
down!" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh fuck!" So the UC has his gun out, shoots him, hits him in the ass. The fucking guy still kept running. Fucking
Oh, the
he
adrenaline
was just
just
yeah
like
he
just
still kept
pumping.
running. He ran like maybe I don't know 15 feet from me. 15 feet from me, jumps up on top of a wall, jumps on top of a gate, then jumps over through the backyards, and fucking the UC tries to like chase after him, and the UC wasn't nearly as fit as
Okay.
the fucking drug dealer. And I want to say he got away, but I don't know. Like
Oh, you still don't know what
I don't
happened.
know what happened. I'm a fucking kid. I was a fucking kid. I was like, I don't know, 11, 12,
You
13
see,
years old.
like in well, me growing up out here in Southgate my
Mhm.
whole life, right? I've seen crazy stuff, but not to that extent, right? But like, or at least maybe I was just blind to it. But
Yeah.
my mom did the same for us, for me and my brothers. So I was fortunate enough to live with two of my older sisters, and two older brothers of mine. Well, there's
Mm-hmm.
7 kids of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but for the majority of my life, it was just me and my older brother, Yo-Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yo-Yo.
Yeah, yeah, yo yo. Sweet
Yeah,
ass fool.
yeah. So, but like, man, I was baby of the family. My mom didn't let nothing like happen to us, or she tried to steer us away from all that life too,
Yeah.
because of my two older brothers. They had their past in old gangs and that involvement of sorts, right?
Yeah.
But when that was going on, they were in Linwood. So keep in mind, Linwood and Southgate, as close as it is, it's two different cities. Like
Yeah.
it's way different, Like even the residents are different. You have
Yeah.
I think it's more diverse in Linwood than it is here in Southgate.
Yeah.
Right here, Southgate's majority Latino,
Yeah.
So
And
eh,
then over in
yeah,
Linwood, there might be a little bit more
yeah,
blacks and shit.
blacks, Latino or whatever.
Yeah.
But so like growing up here, it wasn't really bad. And then my schools are close to home, So
Mm-hmm.
I never really seen that in me as a kid. Man, it was just sports, man. Just sports and family, honestly, and it wasn't bad, man. Like obviously things could be better, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was rough like that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason when I asked you, because you come from different places, So like
Yeah.
I can only imagine how tough it could have been trying to adjust to one city and then having to, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Adam, we have to move over here.
Yeah. It
And
was
and
it was
and,
weird.
and it was, I'm sure, especially as a kid, it was tough, right?
So
So
even though the crazy thing is, like, even though I only moved what 4 times or something like
you
that,
see,
4 or 5 times.
when you say only, I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
like
that's
only 4 or 5 times, but I went to like 7 or 8 or 9 different schools.
you see, that's
So like what you're saying there is like having like is a lot of what my life was like in terms of having to make new friends all the time. Like I legit had to learn how to make new friends all the time. Um, and yeah, there's a that's why I said there was a different version of me in different places because you don't have to be as hard in different places, and sometimes you feel like you have to make up for whatever,
yeah. I feel you. I
and
get you. I understand.
and I don't know, it was a weird time. When I lived in Riverside, I'll tell you this much: when I lived in Riverside, it was the best fucking childhood I could have fucking had. Like,
Why is
yeah,
that?
just because you could do anything. Like in East LA, I was. We had like maybe about a half acre of land.
That's pretty.
Like so,
That's a
we
lot of
like
land.
we could fucking run our bikes and
Yeah.
whatever, or maybe it was like a third. I don't. That's more like I don't know, maybe a little less than half an acre, but
Big proper.
nonetheless, it was a pretty big lot for us. In Riverside, I had a half acre of land with us, and then on top of that, we weren't just confined to our half acre.
Oh man, you go
We
you
could
go to neighbor's
we
lawn and
could go to the
stuff.
neighbors, and we could go up and around the block. We had a little mountain next to us, and we can kind of go up that little mountain, even though our parents didn't want us to. We used to do all kinds of shit, dude. We shouldn't have been doing. We used to play all kinds of stupid games. We used to play cops and robbers, but we used to sneak into empty houses and fucking play cops and robbers and fucking houses.
Shit.
Um, we used to we had fucking neighbors that had BMX fucking ramps in their backyards, like where we could fucking go and ride those ramps. We would try those out. We play street hockey with all the fucking
Oh,
neighbors
I
with
I
fucking
was only play street
rollerblades.
hockey.
With rollerblades, we played soccer with all the neighbors, and I was never good, but whatever. Um, what else? We used to. Some of our neighbors had trampolines. We had fucking enough space to build a tree house. I fell 3 stories from a tree, from the top of a tree, and I fucking fell 3 stories, hitting fucking branches all the way down, and then landing on my stomach. Boof! Yeah, it's fucking wild.
You see
My
it?
dad, my dad will tell you the
That's
story.
adventurous. Like
Yeah, like that, and like imagine like so like when people say like our generation didn't get what our previous like our parents had, like Charlie, like I had what you guys had too, like maybe not as much
Mhm.
because it was maybe confined to those 3 years, but in those 3 years I built fucking bow and arrows, I built spears, I fucking threw them at cats, I shot fucking hornet's nest. I like
I hope everyone's got to experience that.
like
Fucking just hitting and then having to run away.
yeah, and then you'd have to be the fastest. You just had to be faster than the slowest, you know. And my poor like crazy thing is, I've never been stung by a bee, bro. I've never been stung. You ever been stung?
Maybe a couple times only, but yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
I've experienced the pain.
yeah. I've never been stung by a bee or a wasp.
I don't think I've been somebody.
Yeah, bro. I always fuck around with my wife. I'll be like, oh, I don't get stung by bees because bees recognize royalty. Ah,
I don't get a queen bee then.
hey, fuck it.
Oh my
No,
god.
but yeah, bro, fucking funny shit though.
Okay, so now as an adult, right?
Yeah,
So you have your home, your place of residence, right?
yeah.
And how is it um making sure that your home is stable, especially for your kids
Yeah.
that you have kids?
Mm-hmm.
How important do you think that is, and do you think if you would have had that, it would have been a little bit better or worse or?
Um, that's a really good question. Um, Look, I'll tell you like this: my dad and my mom, as much as there might have been turmoil at home, they did their best to try to keep it away from us for the most part. When we did get exposed to it, they still try to like mask it as best as they could. It wasn't like I had a violent home, or like a drug infested home or things like that. It was more so like just personalities not working together.
Okay.
Um, so for us, it wasn't like nothing crazy, and like the moving thing, it was like in hindsight, it was opportunity. It was opportunity. Pops wanting to move because we got a house when we moved to Riverside, and then my parents went through some stuff, and in the process, they lost the house. They got back together, and then we were in East LA at my family's house again, and then eventually we moved into one of my uncle's pads in Alhambra, where he rented it out to us,
Okay.
and we rented it out there for quite a few years, and it was really nice. And I'll tell you, like Alhambra was another great place for me to live, really great. So like I had different spurts. Like I lived like a lot of different lives. I'll say it like that. I lived a lot of different lives because it was just different things kind of falling in. Like super sheltered in Boyle Heights, and then super adventurous in Riverside, and then back to super sheltered, and then when I moved to Alhambra, it was kind of like somewhere in the middle, like where
Well, I think that Hamburg for the most part, it seems like a
it's a great city.
not suburbs, right? But like
Yeah,
just
no, I
like
would say it's a suburb. Like to
yeah,
me,
right.
it feels like the suburbs. It feels like what you would see in like a movie as a suburb. And then even the way we played, it felt like that too. Now we were borderline El Sereno, so like another couple blocks away, we were borderline El Sereno. So like as we were older, and we started like in high school, we had influences of that gang culture, and that like so what was really popular when I was in high school was that like tag banging and things like that. And so a lot of those influences happen. And when you're a kid, there's certain things that will make you lean towards being a knucklehead. And then I wasn't really involved with that per se, but I wasn't not involved in it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
okay.
like I had homies that really close homies that were all up in it, like knee deep in it, and then I kicked it with those foods. And so
But you were aware of that, right?
I
Of
was
that,
aware of all
yeah.
the things that was going on, and there was sometimes beefs and stuff. And I, I again kind of circles back to like the way I was as a kid. It was like, hey, look, like I remember saying something to one of my really close friends at that point in time, and I said something like, hey, look, if I ever have to get into a fight because you couldn't hold your shit like one on one,
Oh wow.
I remember telling a guy, I was like, hey, if I ever have to get into a fight because you can't hold your shit one on one, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna back your ass up. But afterwards, me and you're gonna have a fucking problem. I remember saying that to him, and he was like a
Yes.
brother to me. He was like a brother to me. And the one time it ever came into a fucking situation,
Oh, so they come close to
it
it,
came close, yeah. But
like.
at that point in time, it was like I just got real brave. It was just like some guys wanted to like there was a beef between one crew and another crew, and then I just stuck my nose in it.
Oh,
Like, and
okay.
it was like in the midst, it was about to go down, and I just stuck my nose in it, and I just picked the biggest guy, and I was just like, all right, let's
Why
run
is
it.
it the smallest guys always gotta go after the big guys though?
Well, it
Because
was
we're trying to make a point or
I
something.
know. I think it was more so in that situation. It was more so I was trying to shut it down.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
like, in a way, I was trying to shut it down, but I kind of wanted to show everybody, like,
Well, I mean,
you know, what,
I
what,
mean, I mean
what would
that,
happen.
that makes more sense to me, you know.
What would happen? It was kind of like I was trying to shut it down, but I was also trying to fucking like,
I
hey,
guess
look,
so.
I'm gonna take your hardest guy because I think out of all these guys, I think I can take him.
See, that just goes to
Now,
show, confidence and everything.
in hindsight, maybe I might not have been able to, you know. But long story short, what ended up happening was like I was known in high school for being a wrestler, and kids just there had been several fights between regular dudes that hadn't fought or who hadn't wrestled and guys who did wrestle.
Okay.
And the guys that wrestled did put in really big time work on the guys that didn't wrestle. So it was like,
Wrestling is difficult
yeah,
too, bro. I think it's
maybe
tough.
we don't fight this wrestler, and it's kind of like around the same time UFC is trying to kind of like barely start coming up. It's like Rampage, Jackson, and uh, Iceman, and fucking Chuck Liddell, and fucking Tito Ortiz, and these guys like the big
The
guys that
UFC
started
fighters.
really making it come up. These guys start coming around, and that's when I was in high school. So guys are seeing like, oh, wrestlers are the fucking ones that kind of dominate that
Yeah.
arena. I probably don't want to fight this guy, and so that's kind of what happened. It's like this guy fucking was chattering with my homie, and I was like, hey, well, you want to fight this? We're gonna have to get through me.
I feel.
And then and as he's like, and I don't know what happened or how I did it, but I was like, and I'll take him. I'll take your fucking fool. And then everybody was like, everyone kind of looks back and forth.
I was just looking at you.
They were just like and no one knew what to do. No one knew what to say because no one was expecting the fucking the one guy who didn't look like anybody. Like at that point in time, I'm wearing fucking puka shell necklaces and fucking Hollister shirts
Yeah.
and fucking
Yeah, the surfer, huh?
and I'm the fucking surfer kid. All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Hey, what the fuck? Like this kid wants to fucking say something?" Like, yeah. And so then, yeah, that's where it kind of just shut it down, and nothing happened. I was in a couple fights in high school, but nothing like.
See, well, the whole point of the conversation we had previous to this to trying to start our own podcast and whatnot. It's to share our experiences, obviously,
Yeah,
and hopefully to get a reaction or feedback on it. Just share our experiences, gain new ones,
yeah,
and just give advice, to the community that we choose to like the more intimate conversations we've had,
yeah,
like I think it's always good, bro, and especially having good people around, like after your privacy. I appreciate your friendship,
yeah. Same
and
here.
I couldn't see myself starting this with anybody else, like.
No, I
So that's the
appreciate
whole point of this is just to give someone, even if it's the 15 minutes of hearing us make noise or whatnot, like
it. Yeah,
I wanted to get back and then just us make a difference, man.
yeah,
Like that's what I really want. Like hearing you talking, hearing your background, getting to know you better. Like it's like oh shit, it's exciting. Like
yeah,
I couldn't even imagine hearing someone else's experience, someone else's life story.
yeah,
Like so, like I see all that and I'm like, man, like sharing a beer, bro. Like it's fun, Like
yeah,
and then we're adults now, So it's like I think we appreciate it more so now than we did beforehand, Because
yeah,
what's the saying? It goes, you don't know you're living a good time until it's gone, I think, or something like that. Or you don't know you have it easy until it's tough. Yeah, you don't know you have it easy until it's tough. Like I'm like
yeah,
looking back at it, like
You don't know,
it's
or you don't know what you have until it's gone.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think you hit it on the nose, and I really do appreciate having the opportunity to share these things with you, and then you taking the time to actually ask me these questions, and it's like it's been
Well, I like to
it
pick your brain, bro, because I mean, from how I said it before, you have a beautiful family, bro. You're married. Like, eventually, obviously, I want to start my own family, hopefully,
yeah,
and just I pick everyone's brain. I pick a lot of my friends' brains, my brothers. Like, I want to see what's to expect.
yeah,
Excuse me. Like I'm not gonna hate, obviously no one no one knows what to expect up until it happens, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you, like I'm like I see you deal with your family very well. Like I'm from you look happy, man, and I'm like you still get to do of things that you choose to. You still do things that you love, and I'm like, wow, man, like that's cool. Like that's a real relationship. Like well, marriage,
Yeah.
you know, like wow, like that's cool. Your kids adore you. You can see it right away. Like
Oh,
it's a beautiful thing, you know, to see.
thanks,
Yeah.
brother. And look, being around you and everyone that I have gotten to meet that know you, we all have the same thing to say. In
Appreciate
that
it.
you're a good guy. You'll give your fucking the shirt off your back if you could, and maybe you shouldn't sometimes. But
Well, I hope it doesn't have to get to that
yeah, no, but I mean,
point.
you're a fucking great dude, and you're always fucking looking to give to people around you, making sure that they're taken care of. And
Appreciate it.
that shows a lot, man. The way you take care of your family, the way you take care of your mom, and the way you take care of your nephews, the ones that come around and play with us and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's dope, you know. And knowing your brothers, your two brothers, the ones that I've met,
Yeah.
cool ass people, and they have nice things to say about you. They also talk
Well,
shit, you know.
no, they have their own way of saying it,
Yeah.
right? No, but yeah,
But it's all love, you know.
absolutely, you know, and it's like it's a new journey for us, you know, and hopefully like when the people will like it,
Yeah.
and it's just we're really excited for this. Like we really are. It's we've been thinking about it for far too long, you know. Now that we actually get it started, it's a start of something, and I truly believe it, bro.
Straight up. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts, and hopefully you guys continue to watch. And for Madam and Joe,
Yeah, and we're out. All right, bro.